was the week before Christmas, and all through the crypt, the Scary Sibs were decorating, but brother, he slipped. Whoa, loser! As they finished their furnishings and settled in to rest, they were suddenly greeted by an unexpected guest. Just when they thought things would go without a hitch, a figure descended, and Scary Brew said, "Son of a..."
Hello, mortals, and welcome to Scary Sibs, and allow us to introduce our cousin, Happy Cuz! Oh, hello, it is such an honor to be here!
As you can see, she got into heaven, whereas we're stuck down here on Earth in endless limbo.
Yes, and we just love having her here. For totally unrelated reasons, we know what it's like around the holidays to be around completely unbearable family members that make you wish you were anywhere else. Pretty sure you two were typically the family that...
Anywho, in honor of that, we decided to rank the top 10 horror movies that involve family drama.
Yes, in other words, we hope these movies make you all appreciate your own families a bit more, because they are hopefully not quite as horrible as the families we will be discussing. Oh, that is so sweet! I am so glad you guys included me in the ranking. I know we didn't get along in life, so hopefully in death we can come together and celebrate our differences.
The difference being that you got into heaven by being a goody two-shoes brown noser.
Oh, Scary Bro, I just love you despite your inherent unpleasantness. I love everyone. Let's just get on with this before I throw up.
Number 10, Hereditary. After the death of her mother, a woman named Annie begins experiencing odd and frightening events that threaten to tear her entire family apart. As she delves deeper into the source of the horror, she learns that her mother kept some evil secrets and set in motion a chain of events Annie may already be too late to stop.
This movie has a lot of good elements in it, including emotional and well-written family drama. None of the family members really seem to like each other, and the more Annie tries, the worse things seem to become, as this curse tears them apart. While I do sit on the opinion that this movie is overrated, it has a lot of elements that work well together.
Look, I know we've ragged on this film in the past, and we still stand on our opinion that it's not a great horror film. The horror elements are, in our opinion, the weakest part of the movie. However, it is a surprisingly gripping family drama that really makes you feel sorry for these people.
Number 9, Incident in a Ghostland. This movie follows two dysfunctional sisters, Vera and Beth, and their mother, after a brutal attack leaves the three of them shaken and traumatized. They all try to move on from the incident in their own way. Years later, Beth is called back to the house by a panicked Vera, who seems to be trapped in a delusional state and insists the attackers are back from the dead. The sisters try to work together and put their differences behind them in a twist-filled movie showing us the power of the human brain.
This movie is impressive with how expertly it weaves around the plot and keeps you guessing what's going on the whole time. You begin the movie thinking one thing, and then the film pivots and reveals something else is actually happening. All without making the truth at all disappointing or lesser, like some twist-filled horror movies tend to do. This was a well-done film, and the fact that it's only number 9 shows just how strong this month's lineup of films really was.
All in all, this was a good movie movie that really makes you think and showcases the power of family coming together.
So, seriously, how do you, do I just need to pray more? Or, actually I heard the Devil's Daughter's doing this rehab program. I could look into that and...
Cousin, the only way into heaven is to repent of one's sins.
Repent of my sins?
Uh-huh.
Nope, I'm good.
Yes, me too. They all
why the
deserved
two
it.
of you are stuck down here, you know.
Why? Because we're honest about who we are?
No, because you're both horrible, unpleasant individuals.
Number 8. Us. A woman named Adelaide and her family take a trip to a beach where she experienced a frightening encounter as a little girl. Fearful that they all might be in danger, Adelaide's fears are realized when their summer home is broken into by what appear to be violent doppelgangers of the family themselves. As she tries to figure out where these doppelgangers came from and what they want, she learns that the truth may be even stranger than she imagined.
This film is very intriguing with an original storyline. The commentary here on class and identity is subtle but powerful. It is eerie and uncomfortable more than actually scary, but still effective at what it sets out to do. Sure, the ending leaves a bit to be desired, but overall we were very impressed with this movie.
As Sister stated, without giving too much away, the ending of the film was a bit of a letdown. It gave us answers we weren't really needing all that much, and the answers we got kind of cheapened the experience. Just slightly though, as this movie is still very well done with some great scares, good acting, and surprisingly effective comedy.
Number 7, Evil Dead Rise. Two estranged sisters, Ellie and Beth, are having a reunion that is ultimately cut short when Ellie's son finds a mysterious book in a walled-up vault in their apartment building, and by reading from it, unleashes evil forces onto his family. Beth is forced to be responsible for her safety and the safety of Ellie's children as the once loving mother becomes possessed by a sadistic demon.
If the list was purely which film was the scariest, this one would have easily been near the top, as it's absolutely horrifying. While I personally think the 2013 remake was a better overall film, this one was definitely the scariest of the series. Alyssa Sutherland, the woman who plays Ellie, is a wonderful actress who plays both a doting mother and a terrifying demon expertly. The girl who plays the youngest daughter is also excellent, being a rare child character who's believable and not annoying.
Just like the 2013 Evil Dead, the most memorable thing about this movie is the scares, which it brings in spades. Unfortunately, the characterization and plot could have been stronger. As is, this one comes in at a modest number 7.
That movie takes me back. I remember when you two found an ancient book and tried to put a curse on me to send me away.
What? That never happened.
Actually, sister, remember... Ramanong Fonlia Moncla Dumbliang.
Well, did it work?
I think so. She should be on the other side of the moon and out of our lives forever.
Hi guys. Weirdest thing, I was standing in the kitchen and then poof, I was in the living room.
Dang it, this language's word for moon and living room are exactly the same, just pronounced slightly different. Blasting magical ancient languages.
You suck. Anyway, what's next?
Number 6, Orphan. After the miscarriage of their third child, a couple on the verge of divorce adopts a daughter from the local orphanage. They become drawn to a quiet Russian girl named Esther, who seems charming and friendly enough at first, but the more time Esther spends in the house, the more it becomes clear there's something off about her, and her mere presence puts the entire household in danger.
This movie begins very slowly, but the characters are interesting and well developed, which can be attributed to the strong acting. This is a creepy film that gets more unsettling and downright traumatic as it goes on. Now, I did have the twist of the movie spoiled for me before I saw it, so I wasn't as surprised by its reveal as many others were. But it was still a well-done twist that I can't imagine I would have seen coming.
This is a smart film despite the odd, cheap jump scare early on, and it contains a very threatening child villain who, whether you know the twist or not, keeps you anticipating what she's going to do next to try to take down the family. As far as creepy kid movies go, this is one of the better ones that we've seen.
Number 5, The Conjuring. Demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren take on a case helping the Perron family battle a sinister force that makes itself known in their new house and shows that it means to bring harm to the family. The Warrens and the Perrons must figure out what this spirit wants and how to defeat it before someone dies.
As the first entry in the wildly popular Conjuring verse, this still remains one of the strongest entries in that series. It hasn't yet fallen into the predictable tropes and campy MCU feel that the rest of the series would eventually adopt. The scares here feel fresh and inventive, and the characters realistic, which makes the scenes where they're in danger all the more horrifying. That being said, I do wish this movie had a body count. I don't know, dealing with evil this extreme, and supposedly being one of the Warrens' worst cases, I feel like someone should have died.
In spite of its few shortcomings, this is a great movie and franchise starter that reminds us to appreciate our family and the things we have.
Care to, add anything?
Huh?
I mean, you haven't chimed in once during one of our reviews. Usually our annoying guests have something to say about the actual movies.
Oh no, I don't watch horror movies. They're far too dark and grim for my taste. Give me a good, fluffy comedy where everything works out well for everyone.
Then why are you even here?
Well, because no one else in the family really likes you two, I wanted to come spend the holidays with the unpleasant, off-putting black sheep of the family.
Gee, lucky us. Number 4, The Visit. 2 siblings are sent to visit their estranged grandparents, whom they've never met or even seen before. At first, Nana and Pop Pop appear to be a nice, if a bit strange, old couple. However, night after night, their behavior gets weirder and creepier, and the children begin to suspect that their grandparents might not be so friendly and harmless after all.
The first time you watch this movie, it is terrifying. When you don't know the twist and you are watching things for the first time alongside Becca and Tyler, this movie grips and horrifies you. Watching it again, it is scary, but its impact is not nearly as strong knowing what's really going on. This movie makes you uncomfortable and makes you question when and how the creepy grandparents will let their true selves out and what it will mean for the kids.
This movie is one of M. Night Shyamalan's stronger offerings, and proof that the man can still make a great horror film after all these years.
Number 3, Frailty. A detective is on the hunt for the God's Hand killer, but is unable to find any leads until a mysterious man named Fenton Meeks enters the office claiming that the killer is his brother. He begins to tell a long and interesting story about their childhood, when their father one day claimed to have had a vision where God sent him a list of people who were actually demons and needed to be destroyed. This prompted the man to go on a murder spree and force the young boys to help him exterminate demons.
This movie is deceptively simple. By that, I mean it starts off just like probably a million other movies, with a killer seemingly motivated by God to murder people, a trope we've seen 100 times over. However, what makes this movie stand out is the clever ways it plays with and subverts this trope, and makes you rethink everything you just watched by the end. It's also amazing at delivering the uncomfortable tension as the two boys are forced to participate in their father's murder spree, feeling trapped no matter whether they help him or try to stop him. This is a very dramatic and intelligent rare gem of a film.
This is one of the few movies that I wanted to rewatch immediately after watching it the first time. It honestly blew me away, and I was so impressed with the delivery of this story.
Number 2, Lights Out. A young woman named Rebecca and her brother Martin find themselves targeted by a malevolent entity named Diana, who can only exist in the dark. It seems that Diana has a deep attachment to their mother, Sophie, and the two of them have a surprising history. As the family fight to fend off Diana, it soon becomes apparent that getting rid of her will require a tremendous sacrifice.
This film fits perfectly with the theme of this list, as it is scary but also has a lot of heart. At its core, this is a movie about a woman who has to protect her children from the literal demons of her past. Her children are genuinely likable and well-developed characters, and Diana is a perfectly horrifying villain. The only small qualm I have is that we don't really know much about exactly how Diana became this evil, darkness-loving spirit. I would have loved to have seen more about that.
Personally, I think that the mystery actually makes her scarier. And in fact, I think the concept was done a lot better in the original short film, where this being that would become known as Diana was an even more enigmatic entity that killed for no apparent reason. However, I understand that things need to be fleshed out more in movies, and this was still a frightfully good time that will make you even more scared of the dark.
Number 1, The Shining. Jack Torrance and his family travel to the Overlook Hotel after Jack takes a job as the caretaker there over winter. Immediately, the couple's young son Danny doesn't want to go, and his mysterious psychic powers tell him that something bad will happen. Indeed, almost as soon as they arrive, Jack's behavior starts to become unstable and aggressive. To make matters worse, Danny senses that evil spirits lurk in the halls, and they may be trying to force Jack to kill his family.
What can we say about this movie? It's just an absolute classic. It might not be outright scary in the traditional sense, but it just oozes this creepy, uncomfortable atmosphere that permeates every scene. This is partly due to the excellent music, which makes even a simple drive through the mountains eerie. Also, Jack Nicholson is perfect as this movie's villain protagonist. He does a great job of portraying this everyday man slowly slipping into madness, as either insanity or evil spirits, depending on your interpretation, drive him further and further from his family. This isn't loud, jumpy, in-your-face horror. This is slow, creeping, get-under-your-skin horror, and we absolutely love it.
Yes, it should come as no surprise that this film takes our number 1 spot. It is a classic that continues to creep us out even though we have seen it countless times. And those were our picks for the top horror movies that deal with family drama. Do you agree or disagree with our list? Please let us know in the comments.
Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Until then, I'm Scary Bro.
And I am Scary Sis, and We are
The Scary Sibs.
And I'm Happy Cuz.
No one cares. Seriously, go fly back to your little cloud in the sky and leave us alone, you pest.
I am so tired of being nice to you two. You are the absolute worst people. And you know what? I'm glad you're trapped in this awful place. I hope you stay here for eternity. I hate you both with a burning passion. You're vermin. You're scum. You are absolute human waste, and you both can burn in hell.
Should we,
Yeah, later. Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed our video and that it makes you appreciate your own troublesome loved ones a little bit more. Happy holidays, everyone.